Oil prices bounce off recent lows. OPEC plus output hike, U.S. trade deals in focus. FTSE 100 modestly lower in cautious trade as investors await U.S. tariff moves. The U.S. dollar continues its move to the downside. Central bank heads set to speak.
Eurozone manufacturing sector contraction slows in June.
South Africa total new vehicle sales increased to 47,294 in June from previous 45,308. The ECB's strategy review, only small tweaks. Rabobank. Trump. Musk is upset he lost the EV mandate, but he could lose a lot more than that.
CAC 40 drifts lower as investors digest economic data, await tariff moves.
Euro, short US dollar, eases from highs with Fed Powell and US data on tap. ECB's Mueller. It makes sense for ECB interest rates to stay on hold for a while.
Euro US dollar price forecast. Buyers aiming for 1.1900.
Gaza negotiations. There is possibility to reach agreement soon. ECB Forum Preview. Central bankers to shed light on monetary policy path as uncertainty grows. Gold price forecast. Gold US dollar climbs as Fed remarks. US ISM data and trade uncertainty in focus.
Euro US dollar price forecast. Buyers aiming for 1.1900.
Gaza negotiations. There is possibility to reach agreement soon. Oil prices bounce off recent lows. OPEC plus output hike, U.S. trade deals in focus. FTSE 100 modestly lower in cautious trade as investors await U.S. tariff moves. The U.S. dollar continues its move to the downside. Central bank heads set to speak.
Eurozone manufacturing sector contraction slows in June.
South Africa total new vehicle sales increased to 47,294 in June from previous 45,308. The ECB's strategy review. Only small tweaks. Rabobank. The war of words between Trump and Musk heating up.
Wall Street expected to open in negative territory. United States Redbook Index year over year increased to 4.9% in June 27th from previous 4.5%. Bearish US dollar view becoming complacent? Beaufet. US dollar weakens as fiscal, tariff risks mount.
UK service sector strength to push euro pound lower? Beaufet. Brazil S&P Global Manufacturing PMI came in at 48.3, below expectations 52 in June.
Eurozone inflation hits ECB target.
What is that, 9 minutes? Yeah, 9 minutes, baby. Reload that coffee. Market's going to open soon.
The US dollar Swiss franc continues. It's run lower and to new lows since 2011.
Sui's $120 million linear token unlock risks 15% decline as market sentiment slows. Oh, Canada, our home and native land. G'day, mate. How are ya? How's your mum? Hey, about 3.5 minutes, 3.82 minutes. Happy Canada Day. You guys ready to go? Hey, it's the greatest day of the year. We've been planning for this 6 months in advance.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command.
Japanese yen strengthens to over 2-week high as US dollar weakens. Trade
Yeah! Happy Canada Day, everyone. Happy Canada Day. So let's get on with it. Yeah, well, welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of more than 21,000 foreign exchange traders. We gather here today on Canada Day with the overriding goal of planning our trades in advance because trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Let's go! So, g'day, how are ya? How's your mum? So at Forex.Today, we execute through Trader's Way. You can see my trading account up there. Bada bing, bada boom. And we also use TRADARS, radars for traders, that cover things like sentiment, fundamentals, technicals, and performance coaching. We also make it a little cheaper to trade, and we also help you out on the money side. Yeah. So think of it as a Bloomberg terminal for retail Forex traders. So let's start with some macro. We'll do a little overview of what's happening out in the world right now. And let's start with the headline news. And then we will go through, well, I don't know, some basic fundamentals. Let's do it. Little macro. Let me refresh the page. Well, I think I probably just go.
Japanese yen strengthens to over 2-week high as US dollar weakens. Trade tensions linger.
White House CEA Moran, optimistic about trade deal with the EU. Okay, those are just the most recent. I have to refresh the page to read all of the recent.
Japanese yen strengthens to over 2-week high as US dollar weakens. Trade tensions linger.
White House CEA Moran, optimistic about trade deal with the EU.
The US dollar Swiss franc continues. It's run lower and to new lows since 2011.
SUI's $120 million linear token unlock risks 15% decline as market sentiment slows. Brazil S&P Global Manufacturing PMI came in at 48.3, below expectations 52 in June.
United States Redbook Index year over year increased to 4.9% in June 27th from previous 4.5%. Bearish US dollar view becoming complacent? Buffet. US dollar weakens as fiscal. Tariff risks mount.
The war of words between Trump and Musk heating up.
Eurozone inflation hits ECB target.
That it? I guess that's it. Cool. So taking a look at what's coming up, we have 10 minutes, Powell starts speaking. 25 minutes, we get to PMI. And 40 minutes, we get to JOLTS. Well, hails bells. $0 heading up. All right. So that's that. Let's check our news radar really quickly. And JOLTS does have opportunities. You can drill down depending on your expectations. And, you know, we have all our plans for that. Feel free to go through. This is our scalping radar. There we go. These are the short-term moves going on right now. You can change the percentage, but usually that means less pips, but our you know, whatever. Here's our implied volatility tool, and then we will do our sentiment radar, which actually reads articles across the web. So anyways, this helps you burn through a bunch of charts technically. Huh? Yeah. Remember, if it takes you more than a few seconds to do your research, you're not competitive. So, for example, let's read a whole bunch of articles about foreign exchange trading, since this is Forex.Today. Pound yen still up, same as yesterday. Oh, look at the Kiwi dollar and USD kitty cat. Yeah. Everything else is neutral when it comes to articles being written by the industry. Turn things on and off. Huh? Cool. So anywho, so what it does is it downloads and reads all these reports, which is good because like silver, do you read much about silver? Maybe you like silver, maybe you don't like silver. The thing is, what does the market think about silver? Well, 37 articles were written this week so far over the last 7 days at 3 different websites. And the market used to be quite bullish on silver, and it is no longer bullish. Just over the last 7 days, or last 30 days. Okay? So the market used to be bullish. So if you're still bullish, and you're like, man, things were so bullish recently. Yeah, well, a lot has changed. And the market, all the articles being written about silver is neutral, are neutral on aggregate, right? So you might not be lined up. Now you could look forward and say, well, you've done some analysis on, let's say, seasonality, where you have some projections on inflation. And you're like, yeah, well, it might be neutral now, but in the near future, it is going to be bullish. So therefore, this would be your sentimental buy the dip. And you would want to line that up with technical analysis. All right, I've gone too long, but I still want to do a little bit of macro here. Went too long. I'll go faster next time. Okay, treasury yields coming down, oil going up, gold going up, S&P 500 going up, dollar falling. Okay, all of that makes sense, and Bitcoin falling. Whoa. Well, Bitcoin's a live market, and these are still not quite open. Wonder if Bitcoin's leading the way right now. As of right this second, we are leaning to risk off, even though longer term was risk on. Hey, guess what? It's a new half. It's a new quarter. It's Canada Day, the most important trading day of the year. I talked about this in early January. Well, now we're here, bro. So now what? Yeah. Well, if that's the question you're asking, then that's the right question. So let's see if you're risk on or risk off. Really, the difference would be the time frame. And you guys are 50-50, which smells like a top. Cool. So let's go through our technical radars, looking for pattern recognition. So we looked at some fundamentals. We looked at some of the sentiment radars. Let's do our technicals. Euro dollar. What do you guys think? Good, bad, ugly, up, down, sideways, trend, reversal. You got any thoughts? Well, look at this. I looked at 15-minute, 30-minute, hourly, 4-hour, and daily, and there are only 2 patterns. Okay? Out of 100 possibilities, there's 2. Okay? This is bullish with an opportunity. This is bullish with an opportunity. Buy a dip and let it rip. Remember, it's not technical analysis. So you say, well, Wayne, I disagree. I'm worried about a double top, or I'm worried about a pivot point, or I'm worried about an Elliott wave, or I'm whatever, dude. Whatever. You're right. This is just one thing, and the one thing is, on this time frame, this has a pattern going on. That's all it knows. It's all it knows. So daily and euro and hourly give you a green light. Cool. That's it. Now that was 100 charts. Oh, you take longer than that? Huh. Well, you're not competitive. What about S&P 500? What do you stink about the stock market? What do you think? Up, down, or sideways? You got an opinion, bro? Hey, bro. What do you think? Is it going to go up today? Sorry, if you're South African, it's brew. What do you think, brew? Okay, you want to look on the 15-minute, the 30-minute, the 60-minute, the 4-hour, the daily. You want to look for uptrends, downtrends, sideways trends. You want to look for reversal patterns. Yeah, I just did. You know what? There's none. What? Yeah. Doesn't mean you can't trade it. Doesn't mean there isn't technically anything going on. It just means we just look for 100 different potential scenarios on euro dollar. It takes us a second or two, and it takes everybody else the day. And by the time you go through all your charts, all the previous charts have already changed. So it's like painting the Golden Gate Bridge. As soon as you're done painting, you got to start over at the beginning again. So what happens is you're a dog chasing its tail. Oh, snap, Wade, you're hurting my feelings. Stop it. Yeah. 10-year T-note, treasuries. Where are money going? Is money going into the market, lowering yields, or is money coming out of the market? What's going on? Yields up, yields down. How will this affect the Fed? What's going on? Let's look at all the time frames, and the only thing that exists right now, check that out, bro. Daily up. Now there's quite a room, so this means yields can come down. Ooh la la. Now it's not that they will. This isn't predicting the future. It's saying, hey, did you notice that we have a primary support line? Okay, primary support line. Yeah. Therefore, it should go up from here. How high? Well, based on what it's done in the past, maybe this high, maybe higher. So the primary line is the pink one. The secondary is kind of just guesswork. Could it go higher? Yeah, for sure. But, you know, what it's done in the past, that's more like it. Cool. So, pa-ching. Channel up. Okay, strength. Not weakness. Strength. So is this up move in a strong market? Is that an opportunity or a threat? That's an opportunity. Ciao. Love it. And now you can correlate that with other things. Is that risk on or risk off? Well, we have it labeled at Traders, so you're not going to get confused. All right. Now, you might be a crypto person. We cover ADA, BTC, ETH, LTC, SOL, XRP. So we got the thing that you like to trade. Okay. Yeah, got the thing you like to trade. No shitcoins, though. All right, so what do you think? Up, down, or sideways? Well, for that, you want to look for trending patterns. Up, down, or sideways. You want to look for reversal patterns. You want to look at the 15-minute chart, the 30-minute chart, the 60-minute chart, the 4-hour chart, and the daily chart. How long does it take you to look for that? Well, again, that's at least 100 different scenarios. And let me tell you, I've already done it. Okay, 15-minute chart, bearish with the threat. 30-minute chart, bearish with the threat. Hourly chart, bearish with an opportunity. 4-hour chart, sideways. Okay, and daily, sideways, but potentially up, but I'd say neutral. So on the 4-hour and daily, I would say neutral. Boom. Oh, and I keep forgetting to fix this, or it doesn't fix. Anyways, I'll have to figure it out. Yeah, I'll try it again. Every day I try fixing it. Let me try one more time. Maybe today it'll work. Maybe I'll try a different XAU. Oh, I think it'll work. See? You got to stay persistent. All right. There we go. What a good day it is today. What a good day at Forex.Today. So anyways, Bitcoin, down with the threat, down with the threat, down with the threat, sideways and sideways. If you spent 5 seconds, you spent too much time. So what do you think about gold now? Now, you should already know, because you've done fundamentals, whether you're a bull or a bear or neutral. But now you're using pattern recognition to say, well, what do the charts say? Are they aligned with your fundamental bias? You can also use our sentiment radars to say, well, how does the market feel about gold? What does the market think about gold? What's the opinion of the market about gold? Good. So now you have like how the market feels. Then you can look at the fundamentals. What should the market be doing based on logic? And then now what we're doing is we're looking at what is the scenario right this second. So, for example, if you're a long-term bull, maybe on the short run, sentiment isn't great. Why is sentiment not great? Well, maybe gold is coming down. So therefore, all the articles are going to be bad. Why? Because gold is coming down. But you're like, but I'm a long-term bull. And then you look at seasonality and all that kind of stuff, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to buy a little gold maybe in the middle of July, and then I'm going to buy a lot more gold in September. So now you're ready, willing, and able, thinking forward, and then using technical analysis, not necessarily to make trading decisions, but making decisions on when to buy and sell. Because remember, there's only two things a chart tells you: time and price. So if you already know you're a bull, what's the right time and what's the right price? More likely, what's the right price, and then you get your time. So, you ready? 15-minute chart, 30-minute chart, 60-minute chart, 240 and 1440, looking for 100 different scenarios, and the only thing we see is a daily 3-point extension breakout, slightly bullish. Not great. I'm not thrilled. It's upper mediocrity, slight edge to the up. That's it. Slight edge to the up. Now, maybe you fundamentally are bullish, very bullish, maybe because of some sort of fundamental reason. Now, I'll tell you, I've analyzed the fundamentals. I've analyzed the seasonality. I've analyzed a bunch of other things. Okay. So we had some up in gold. Now we've had some down. You know what I think is going to happen? Over weeks. Now, why do I know that? I don't know that. But I've done some research. You can't think 3 months in advance. You're not competitive. You've heard me say that multiple times today. This is a competitive sport. Okay? You can't walk into the ring with a professional mixed martial art fighter, MMA fighter, that's got 30 fights under his belt and knows all kinds of martial arts, including jiu-jitsu, but is also, because of the training this person has done over a decade, if you punch them, you'll break your wrist on their abs. And if they punch you, you will fold like a wet paper bag in a monsoon. Yet you expect to go in the ring and get rich and famous. You don't like to work out. You don't like to practice. You don't like to spar. You don't like it when you get punched. But you want to get rich and famous. So you got to be competitive, right? This is about being at your, in this case, intellectual best. Do you know the market sentiment? Do you know the market fundamentals? Do you know the global macroeconomics? Can you compare the UK economy to the Australian economy? Can you see the differences in real time? How often do you update? Do you update every day or never? Do you know the institutional flows of capital and the stockpiles of capital? And do you understand why central banks may or may not add gold or change the interest rate? If you don't know these things, you cannot be competitive. But also, if you spend the vast majority of your day just looking at charts, trying to find something to do, let me tell you, you've already lost. Okay? You're fighting against professional MMA fighters that are tough as nails. And they train and they train and they train and they train. Okay? Yeah. It's about competition. Are you at your best? Are you being a professional about this? I hope so. Okay. All right, so Peter at 2:30 is going to cover trading the stock indices. That's at 2:30 today. Then later today at 4, I'll be doing some more technical analysis. 2 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, Jessica's doing London Open. 7 o'clock tomorrow, I am doing the fundamentals. So we got a lot going on the performance coaching side. Performance coaching, is that necessary? Well, when Tiger Woods was #1 golfer in the world, he had a performance coach. Huh. Well, hills bells. He also had a caddy. Hey, what do you think about this shot? Hey, where do you think the wind's coming from? How far is that bunker? How far do you think that bunker is? Dude, he's the best golfer in the world. He doesn't need anybody's opinion. But you got to be smart. So you're like, dude, Wayne, Tiger Woods, what is he, 90 now? He's, okay, pick the best golfer in the world. Does that golfer still try to be competitive even though they're number one? Do they exercise? Do they have a dietitian? Do they practice? Do they have a coach? Do they have a caddy? Why would they do all that? Because they want to stay number one in the world. I want you to arrange your trading world like that. That you're a professional athlete. You're a Top Gun fighter pilot. You're a trader with radars, so you can make every trade logical and intelligent and informed. You have patience and you have discipline. You make good decisions and your execution is second to none. And you do that for the rest of your career. Cool. But besides that, would you like my chart templates? And would you like a rebate from your spread so that your trading is a little bit cheaper? Yeah, well, we can do that for you too. You want my chart templates? Not a problem, bro. So anyways, happy Canada Day, the greatest day of the year. Once again, if you don't understand why I'm making such a big deal of this, you've already noticed that you've done yourself a disservice. I've prepared people for months in advance for today. So if you just showed up and you're like, I don't know what he's talking about, well, be careful. There's a freight train behind you. Loaded like a freight train. Other people know. I would be pissed, by the way, if lots of people know something I don't know. I would be mad at myself. Cool. Cool. So that just happened. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'll add chapters to this video. Yes, it takes me time, but I'll go through and I'll add chapters so it's easier for you to rewatch any of the lessons. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Remember, 2:30 with Peter, 4 o'clock with me, 2 a.m. with Jessica.